I am Palpatine001, aka the Senate, and we are back with City Skylines 2 post-summer solace update. Although for us in New Zealand, the South Pacific Islands, Australia, South Africa, most of South America, we just technically had the winter solace. So for us, it is the winter solace update. But anyway, I digress into that little rabbit hole. We are back with City Skylines 2 Waikato and post update. The Summer Solace update, which was to improve graphics, which you might be seeing with the grass here, and I'll show you why I'm focused on this memorial, this central cemetery in just a moment. So we've had the graphics update, and we've had some performance updates, especially around commercial and some aspects, I believe also the residential, and also dispatching those that shouldn't be in the city. Nonetheless, it has caused the usual and this is the reason why we're focused on the cemetery, the central cemetery, which is next to the city centre. And that is because we are currently, and this happens when you get a major update, death wave. We have a death wave, and that's probably the rebalancing of the senior citizens again. A little too, as you can see here. And that's actually quite good, although that's going to spike in a minute for where we're going. Basically, it's just attempting to rebalance in here again, because as you can see, these are still quite deeply out. So as a result, it will clear up, as you'll hear from others like City Planner Plays and $2.20. That basically you just let the simulator run, let the cemeteries and the crematorium do their work, and it eventually clears up anyway. So which is why we've built this one, because we've got all the. And I just missed that because I actually clicked the wrong one. So we've got 39 vehicles out, plus all the other cemeteries and crematoria scattered around the city, collecting a little death wave, and that will balance itself back out. So we are here with 5.1. Yeah, 5.1 industrial expansion. So in 5.0. So in 5.0, we basically brought the last of the big infrastructure online. So we brought in the highways, the railways, the port, which is working. As you can see, we've got a boat coming in, bringing in vehicles and pharmaceuticals. So basically bringing in finished goods. We've got the raw resources, but we don't have the industrial capacity to manufacture the finished goods for the city. And we also put in the regional airport, and we have put in the major airport, but that will be brought online when we hit 100,000. So that was 5.0, was basically doing that. 5.1, we're going to do the industrial expansion. So we're going to use our signature buildings and build around that, because as we know, cities are either founded on resource and industry, or trade, which ironically also comes off industry and resource. That's that's the two reasons. The other two main reasons, since the city of over 6,000 years ago, is military, so fortresses, often defending again your industry, resources, and trade, and academia, civic, which you would usually find with your capitals. But if we go to raw resources, we're basically going to start bringing the raw resources. Explain that. So we've got oil to bring online. I could bring this patch of ore online. I have got a ton of room for forestry, so this is going to be a big industrial center. We've got more ore and forestry over here, and that's worked out perfectly. We're going to establish a big farming community out here, and that's right, because it's connected to the new highway and rail, which means I can use the cargo ports, and we could do extensions and so on and so on and so on. So 5.1 and probably 5.2, 5.3. So we'll dedicate, say, 5.1 today to the oil, 5.2 to the ore, 5.3 to the forestry, and 5.4 to the farming. And then we'll also, we'll do a huge big bang for buck and getting some residential online. And then basically let rip from there. And why is this having a protest because it can. That's the emergency sewer line. Just in case I lose the sewer plants for whatever reason. As you can tell, it's also raining. I don't have that online constantly, but for some reason, I lose the sewer, the main treatment plants. I can bring this online, and this can act as the emergency dump point. Although, remember, it will pollute. So you've just got to bear that in mind. So, with 5.1, we're going to focus on the oil today, which will be onshore oil and offshore oil, although preferably not the oil that is sitting in the shipping lanes, so we'll avoid those. But yes, we will bring the oil online. As you can see, it's already, you can see the deposits we've got on and offshore, so that will make it good. And yeah, so basically what we're going to do, so one thing I have to bear in mind is I also want to port on the side because I don't want it all funneling over. So this would be a good port connection in here. So don't put anything in there. Right then, so let's have a look. So 5.1 will dedicate to the oil. Oh, and at the end of the video, I'm to also do a quick, we'll get some residential off the ground. Also just do a very quick zoom into this little Dutch quarter for someone. With the graphics updated, we'll just see how it looks down at first person level, see if it's looking okay. But it says I'll do that at the end of the video because I owe that to someone on Blue Sky, and by the looks of it, just quickly, yeah, they're looking okay. But as I said, we'll come back to that. Looking very nice. We'll come back to parking. We'll come back to that afterwards. I don't think... Oh, the Dutch houses already have... I just noticed that. The Dutch houses have all their parking at them already. So the parking's a bit... superfluous here. So that said, if I really wanted to, and we're doing a scroll because we're going to sidetrack ourselves... What we could do is... I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it for... No, I don't think parking can be removed off these because of the way they are. Because I can't put in cycle lanes, and I can't put in trees. So the only way to do it would be to get those cars off, as either make it another two-way alley, or we drop it into a pedestrian path, which could be very tempted to do, actually. So what's the total scroll? So medium density row housing. I think that's the low rent housing, medium density housing, low rent housing, low density gable, low density gable. The gambrel, so I could, as long as I chuck in another parking lot somewhere. I could definitely turn that into a what? And yeah, we're totally scrolling here, folks. I get it. Into an alleyway, which means I just need to put the parking somewhere. And I have an idea where. Oh, that's Japanese low density. I just did that to give something different there. So, yep, scrolling. Ha, I could technically connect it up if I wished to. Actually, that doesn't even... I'm actually going to redo that. Put a little... It's very cute. That will redevelop as is. Oop. To be honest, if I was really clever, given this is a Dutch set... oh yeah, it does fit. And then... Small bicycle shelter. Well, they've got plenty of bike parking in those anyway, so... Not really relevant in this instance. And that's all set up. And then what I can do is... To make it... Whoops, wrong one. There we go. So if it's to take that out, and they'll go and shift themselves over here. So if I take it to first person mode, yes, it is raining. That looks a lot better, especially when you get the low rent housing kicking in. That definitely looks a lot better than that. Which I'm just going to leave there anyway, because it gives a bit of a mixture of a feel. Anyway, major case of the squirrel. Whoops. Major case of the squirrels, and there goes the new home anyway. Let's get to what we're meant to be doing and building the oil industry for 5.1. Oops. That happens. Suppose when you're a planner with so-called ADHD, yeah, you get caught in those ever wonderful mindsets. Right, so oil industry, oil industry, oil industry. And then we'll do ore, forestry, farming. Or any of those variations, depending which way around I want to do it. Right. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to center it around the signature industries. Because that's the best way to do it. So we'll pop in. And I'll just look at the supply chain stuff first. Particle board factory, so that is wood. Energy drinking, so that is grain and steel. Athletic wear, which is plastics, I believe. Rocket fuel, so definitely on this side, which means also I could place the rocket base somewhere nearby. That's the steel, that's to the steel mill, so it's not here. Concrete batch, which is not here. Nanopolis, so that's tied to the refinery. Casting fabricator, that's metal, so that's the steel mill. Fabrication work, it's the tooling factory, I believe that's also off the steel mill. And the gravity separation, which is concrete, so they're not here. So the big one, and then you've got the non-supply ones, which is the chemical plant and the oil refinery, but oh, and I'll put in the vehicle factory too, because plastics reasons and all that, but it does not include the fuel plant. And you're probably going to ask me, why is that? Doesn't it come from oil? Yes, but the game also uses grain, biofuels. So that would be, if I was to build that little sucker, he would be all the way... And this is also good to know where the wind's blowing. He would be actually all the way over here next to the farming. Oh, that's it. He does draw on oil, but that can be shipped in by rail. So yeah, we're basing it around the chemical plant, the vehicle factory, the oil refinery, and then if we go into the supply chain, the rocket fuel, and the synthesis unit. And then I've just got to go and then get them, get the supply chains ones to continue. That's a good one. Continue the supply chains on. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is get the oil refinery, and we should have this on. And I believe this land is not flat. Or is it? Oh, that's because I'm... Whoops. Zip. Oh, was I looking in the wrong area? Oh, never mind. We will not be building the port there. The port would actually... No, yes we are. Sorry, I was way off cue. Yeah, the port's there. So go back to Mr. Oil Refinery. Yeah, he would get built in here. Now we've got a nice big hill in here. So what we're going to look for first... Jump over. Ah, okay. Yeah, no, that works fine. That definitely works fine. So you don't want to drop him in there necessarily. So you want... And we have got a super. So if we just go across this, the tonnage. So this is telling me I need factories. So we are exporting it out, but we're exporting, a bit like New Zealand, my home country. We're exporting our raw resources, but we're not manufacturing them into finished products, which are worth more. That said, with food required, yeah, so we're sitting on mass, except for coal. We basically don't have the, and partially oil. We're basically sitting on raw resources that are just going nowhere. And we are trying to export them out, but I should be using them closer to home, so I'm not importing in manufactured goods, which costs more. So first thing we'll do is... Don't want him sitting on the oil, so we'll get him set up. So this is the offshore oil. This allows me to tap into all that delicious offshore oil. And preferably not inside the shipping lanes. Okay, so that establishes him. So we'll just road him up. Okay, so he's there. Now, what I'm going to have to do is get this highway set up and likely auto save, auto cucumber, and get the railway likely set up as well. So we've got to bring the rail across, and they will come. For sake of purposes, to keep it away from here, I'll bring it out from here and bring it through. So bring him through. It is quite a distance too. So you can run rail through here. So bring him out and through and around. The highways get more fun. So I've got to sink him down and basically run him all the way across. So there is a bit of infrastructure work. And then bring... Yeah, there's quite a bit of infrastructure work to do as well, because these are not going to be connected very easy. In fact, I will actually go so-called off-screen to do those. So we've got him set up, which is good. Okay, I mean, I should have these on so I can see. Okay, so actually, no, that railway is actually going to come from two directions. That's going to come straight down, and we'll bring in another one... Could bring another one through there, or I'm likely to actually bring him through here. Okay, we don't need to turn around because there's nothing coming from there that requires a turnaround. Oh, there is passenger rail. But then again, I've also got metro rail coming out, so I'm likely to connect by metro. And then if I need to go across for anything, it's what the ferries are for too. Okay, so he's in there, which is good. So basically what I'm needing to do is I'm actually now having to think quite far ahead here because I don't have the highways down, and that is... Okay. Oh, that not connect properly. Okay, so we jump back to the oil. So the oil's all in there. So consequently, we would go... one way. Got to bear that in mind too, because I'll probably, because of where the refinery is sitting, going to sit. Okay, so what I've got to be, I'm just a little bit cautious of, is probably because I'm going to want, because the port's going to sit in there, I'm going to want a rail connection. So as you can see, I'm having to think quite far ahead here. No, train. That's not... Oh, I could do an end one. But if I really want to extend the rail out, best not do that. So you want a cargo transfer station. So I've got to be very cautious on how I place the refinery. So that is... So he's going to sit like that. So I've got to work out where I want to put... Actually, I know how to do that. So we still do them as normal. So... Okay. So what I'll do is drag up the oil refinery. Now he's a big sodder in of his own right. Okay, so he's in, which works perfectly well. Okay, and then what we are going to do is, I should have these on. So the railway would come round. And so... You gotta remember, I'm also going to be establishing normal zonable industry as well. So the reason why you're seeing the 4-lane roads pop up. Okay, and I'm just strategizing here a little bit on bringing the railway through. So, yeah, bring him out on quite a long distance. Okay. And then what that will do is... Then we do another one of these. One-way roads work best with cargo. Okay. I'm actually going to do that. I am then going to... do that because it allows that to happen just in case they need to come out a bit sooner. Then what we do is I should still have him. That allows me to bring the railroad out, and if I'm a good boy, I will chuck in and keep that clear. Now that means I do have a hill now to cross. You can see the new texture tools. Material dirt. Material lush. Huh. And I suppose there's more, they bring more out. Material sand. Oh, that's going to be good. Know a few applications for that. Oh, that's all good to know. And material dry, and I think that's it. Huh. And vegetation's normal. Well, that's good to know. A little bit of terraforming to start the day. Okay. So that allows me now to bring the railroad in and bring this road out, which is good because we can now start establishing up the oil industry. So that means the last other signature industries I need to set up are the chemical plant. Now, is he going to fit nicely in there? Yep. Which means, oh yeah, that's fine. So he's sitting in there, and that means the O means I need 2 more. Which we will bring down as separate roads. So again, ooh, yeah, I can see what's going to happen there. That means go to the supply chain, and we're looking for the synthesis unit. Which I suppose I could put right there, but I'm actually going to put right here. And not the fabrication unit, not the gravity separation unit, not the batch plant, not the steelworks, not the blast furnace, the rocket refinery. Which means, now I'm curious, and can I do it or not? The answer is yes, I can, and yes, I will. Those are all... Huh. Which means now I'm super curious. This is now me just playing around for the sake of it. So what way is that going? Up, down, so... Oh, okay, so that is completely out of a line. Yeah. That just actually gives me more options to do. Alright. That has basically set that up, and that allows me to establish industry and elsewhere. So that is set up. Right, so what we're going to do now is, because I've got to establish the establishing infrastructure, that's the road, rail, water, and so on, is I'll pop the mic off, and we will get going in setting that up. And then we'll come back to it and take a review on what we've done. Okay, so we've basically brought the oil industry ready to go, ready for me to release the simulator. We've got some... Start small because you're going to get rushed, and I've got to balance it out. But we've got some onshore and offshore oil fields ready to go. Okay, we've still got plenty of oil. Remember, we've also got a port, and we've got to bring the railway through. So I've just got to be careful on how that's all done. But basically, we've got the oil fields, we've got the onshore, offshore, we've got the refinery, the chemical plant, some waste services, the vehicle factory, and we've got some extras from the supply chain. So we've got the synthesis unit, and we've got the rocket fuel refinery, which I'm just going to give its upgrade. Now, if you're wondering if I am going to slap in, yep, we are slapping here. We're going to slap in that rocket. We will do, and the rocket will go basically somewhere over here. And if anything, I should do it right now and just deactivate it. Let's take it offline, do its usual whinging, and so we've got the rocket center right there, ready to go right on the point. Of course, got the infrastructure all set up, got the fire police ready to go. So basically, I can let the simulator rip and then start bringing the industry online. But the thing is, we won't have the population to do it. Oh, we've also finished setting up more highways, and I'm going to get the rail system done, but I'll do that off screen. But what I'm doing now with also the district's in Taranaki, Taranaki Oil Fields, just like real life, what I'm doing, guys, is I've just set up Howick, and what basically I'm going to do is I've got to basically get some residential online to support the jobs, because right now we can't, if you look at the figures. So I've just got to get some more residential online. So I will do that off screen. And basically, but that's the oil industry ready to go. And then what we'll do is we'll come back in 5.2 with the simulator released and getting this going and get ready to do the next set. Actually, no, give me a few minutes. Let me set Howick up and all that. This doesn't take long normally, because then we can actually release the simulator right now. So just give me a few minutes, and I'll I'll get the suburb set up ready to go, and so we can actually bring it online. Otherwise, yeah, not really much just seeing it all up and letting it fall to the wayside. So yeah, let me just get it set up, and then we'll release the simulator. Alright, after a little bit, we're just about ready to go. Just let's link up once we get the right colors. Let's link up the subway and the bus routes. Now, yeah, that's connected to a large yard, which is fine. So basically, I've created Howick, which is based mainly on the Chinese urban style. I have got a little bit of Japanese in there. Excuse me for that, for the mixed use. That's needed. Otherwise, we're using the Chinese residential and the Dragon Gate commercial for this. And all I've got to do is just basically place the bus stops and let rip. There's enough capacity in the subway system to get this across. And then we're just basically going to have to sit here and wait a while for the simulator to catch up. And for the usual congestion from everyone moving in, as well as the hearses clearing out that death wave that we've got sitting around. Nearly there. Routing up is always fun. Okay, so now I need to go and give that a name. What is that line? Just given where it's going. And actually we'll change that to red. And drop the prices down. Get 8 units running. I don't think we're going to need that many straight off the bat. Okay. Okay, so that gets him going. And that leaves the last part to do. it's the city centre, so I'm facing the wrong way. Still, I can add more. That's the Nuka. Now I'm definitely going the wrong way. Still add more out here. I haven't filled it in completely yet. I will do that off screen before going into 5.2. Okay, what I have done is and I'll let it release again. Is I've let the simulator go for a little bit, and of course it's still piddling with rain. To allow basically Howick and... Oops, someone's off to the medical clinic. And Taranaki to develop. And as you can see, this is using primarily the China pack, but there's also some Japanese stuff floating in there. I believe I might have also... No, it's China. Oh, and I've also got some of the promenade stuff going. And I might have... Yeah, just mix it, because not all packs offer everything you need. So if I was to go to the China pack, as you can see, it's only residential. I don't have mixed use, and I don't have low density either in of itself, although I do have Dragon Gate, which I do have, which you can see here. And offices is high density, so to get some low density offices and that going, I've had to use, and some other mixed use, I've had to use the other packs. That said, the urban promenade stuff's not bad at all. And so yeah, as I said, Japanese mixed use as well. So not all districts are homogenous. So I will add little bits and pieces to get it going, but otherwise, yeah. So we've allowed to get it going, we've got the population up, and we're still going up. And I've done some replacement. Okay, so that's medium density popped off. Oh, no, there it goes, it's resuming again. And is that some high densities? No, it's all medium, so... because I don't include parking. I do have public transport. I do like to keep the parking up. That just gives them somewhere to go. So the problem we've got at the moment is, yeah, well, we're 80,000. I'll show you what the problem is, and this is before I jump into 5.2, which is the next industrial expansion. I've got to have... That is a lot of bikes on the move, which is a good thing, I suppose. Okay, they're going to the high school. Are you all going to the high school? Okay, let's... Oh, and the high school's... Oh, okay. So we've got to do a little bit of... That was quicker than expected. Give me a second. Oh, they're going home. Okay. Oh, no, that's all very good. So yeah, we've got 80,000, but we're getting the not enough workers thing. So if you look at it, I'm 13,000 short. So before I can even engage on 5.2, now everyone's moved in. I've got to do some residential expansion first, which I'm going to do off screen. So I've got to do quite a bit of residential expansion just to get that, try and get that back up. Otherwise, your economy does start going a little bit in a pickle, because it's just got simply I just don't have enough workers, and then the businesses start closing down, which is like, that's perfectly fine. That's normal, would happen in the real world. So I'll be working on that. So where I'll be working at the moment is I've still got to do work in here. So what I'll do is, because the port's over here, and if I look at the wind, so get the old wind turbines out, we're pointing away from, the pollution's pointing away. So I don't have to worry about the oil fields or the industry net, because it's actually technically downstream. That's me getting ready to build that port because we've actually got oil surplus at the moment, which is expected. We haven't got the industry up to speed. So yeah, I've got to do a bucket load of urban expansion by the looks of it. I've also got to add in more schools and that too. It wasn't quite... I thought I would have had enough for that. Obviously not. Community college is perfectly fine. Okay, the high school's maxed out, which means they start traveling elsewhere. That's not a good sign in of itself. 280, 200. Probably am going to need a little bit more parking, but it's fine. So let me try and find the primary schools. I think the best way to do that is... Okay, the primary schools seem to be okay, so it's a secondary school problem. Looks like we've got at the moment. There's one there and one up there. Okay, so the high schools are maxing out across the board. Okay, so that's good to know. So what that's going to tell me is I need more high schools. Which means I am going to probably go to... now what's the extensions? Which is probably means I should get another pedestrian path to crop over. Oh, this is... well, that's actually good news. Can actually dedicate this away. So I can actually expand that one actually. So I can actually technically expand that one out. So we'll let him rip. And what I'll do is get in another... wrong one. Nope. Yes. Oh, okay, that works too. What are we at? 10 meters. Oh, you're not going to expand because I've technically... Okay, that's fine. So much for that idea. I'll just do this. There's one there. There we go, and that does that. And the last thing that means all I need to do is provide some bike parking. Very straightforward. And they'll start using that pretty quickly. God, this rain's incessant. So yeah, basically I'll do more urban development to try, and especially out to here, so draw this road up as well. Is that running under a thing, is it? Yes, it is. So, yeah, I'll do some more quick fire urban expansion just to get this up, to try and get those numbers up. And yeah, then we can jump back into 5.2. And if you want to wonder what it looks like down at ground level... Yeah, just gonna watch that parking. I'll probably come back across, start addressing that shortly, although we do have plenty of it at the moment, but I will come back to address it. Let me see if I can find one for you. Oh, there he is. This is, oh, you can see the lightning. Bit of an awkward turn, this one, because of the way because the assets are still set to right-hand drive, not left-hand drive, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. They've been told about it as well. I must say, the graphics upgrade that they have done is looking pretty smart, so... And that's actually approaching traffic lights soon. Away we go. So down he goes. You can see the Dragon Gate stuff. So I will run commentary through this. And you can see the medium density, high density, and low rent housing. So there is quite a bit of low rent housing here. That is so those that are moving in or those that are falling onto hard times actually have a chance of moving into the city and able to land work, and then they can level themselves up. Now, I have dropped the residential taxes from 8% to 4%, which was a case of a bit of a... You can hear the metro, which was a case of a bit of a whoops. And that will allow for faster leveling up. So the idea is they move into the lower rent housing to start with, and then when they start the citizens start leveling up, they start going into the other housing that's provided, medium density, high density, or even the low density stuff. Now, one thing I will also do, and I'll do this off screen, is I'll green the area up. Obviously, the detailing is a little bit sparse. But yeah, I will detail this all up. And so it's looking a little bit more green, especially with this constant, incessant rain, to which I'm probably going to pull this map into the editor and make it stop raining so much. Although, it could be a case of a summer wet season and winter dry season, given the latitude of the map. We'll soon see. Might even start needing more buses. Might actually throw another... because I've just put in some more development, I might actually stack up. Might throw another 2 buses and just to push the frequency a bit harder. Now we are in evening rush hour. Oh, those are those new facade office buildings. Okay, that's what they look like. Nothing special. You can see the residents moving in. See the tanker. Might make that a 2+1. Or even a 3+1. So away we go. So some parking buildings. I might chuck in another parking. Yeah, so those are the facade buildings on the left. Nothing particularly special about those. That said, they are still on level 1. And he just... I hope that was a... No, that was setting for green. Now, the good news about this bus route is that it follows... you basically see all the urban styles available for the Chinese pack. And if the bike parking's full, that's great. Tennis, anyone? He should turn left here. He should be turning left here. Is he going... Yeah, they have a bit of a turning problem if I lean them hard up against an intersection. And now we're into the lower density stuff. So you've got the courtyard style and the normal low density. So this is the traditional courtyard, and you'll probably see some mix it with the low density stuff afterwards. As you can see, it's a little bit spartan on the green side at the moment, so I do need to... Basically, I just get the forest brush out and go whee across the thing. Yeah, definitely need to step the trees up in there because those walls are quite blank and... Oh, just saw that. Now we're heading back towards the centre of this community. That's the Japanese mixed use across the road. And in the background there is the Eastern European. To the left is the Southwestern commercial, I believe. Ooh, yep. That's going to be a full... And I'm going to... That's also telling me more cycle parking. Yeah, so I will throw in a couple of more buses just to step it up a bit. And looks like we need some more cycle parking down here too, which is always a good thing. Now, I think this is the so-called normal low density from the China pack, whereas before we were looking at the traditional courtyard. And that's some Japanese mixed use there, and that's the urban promenade stuff you can see on the right-hand side. Now coming back into the higher density and the public housing stuff, or low rent housing. So the medium density is to the right, and the high density and the public housing stuff's to the middle and left. Ooh, in that case, yes, I do need to step up more buses through here. She's going to max out. Not quite. Yeah. And we're basically on the outskirts of the centre. So that new high school I put in is to the left-hand side, and you can see they're all cycling off to it. Oh, the bridge is currently up, which means the ship's just passed through. Or passing through. And now you're going to start seeing some of the Dragon Gate Chinese commercial stuff. Now you should make a right-hand turn here. And then he'll turn left here. Subway's busy. And that concludes that. And so yeah, away we go. And a lot of those people are actually... Are they moving in or are they going home? No, are they all moving? Okay, so they've come, and so the way that's happened is they've caught the train, the intercity train, and now they're using the public transport system to get to their final destinations. So that's a very good thing to see when they're doing that. But it also means I just have to be very careful with my lighting phases. So that's all fine in that. What I just need to do is just activate the pedestrian phase. That's all. And I could be a little bit cheeky. No, I don't want to... No, those are all mega long. Okay. Is anyone using that? Yes, they are. So just being very cautious on how I move things about. Yeah, I don't want to really move the cycle parking if it's been used. So in that case, I just drop in a smaller... Yeah, and that stays as is. Yep, and the way you go... Oh, now I was going to... 31%, so yeah, I'll put in... Actually, no, I'm going to actually step that up to 10. So we'll get 10 going, because there's a lot of people starting to move in now. So we've got to make sure... Oh, we've got plenty of parking for now. So I don't have to so-called panic. That said, I do not want them to start doing on-street parking either. And don't worry, I will... compensate that out. Okay. Whoops, missed the spot. And where I do need to check quickly is... We'll just see how those go and just see how they go in receiving it. So that concludes 5.1, establishing Howick and the oil industry, Taranaki. We are producing a surplus of oil at the moment. Ore and coal are a little bit low. That's because there's a lot of building and a lot of leveling up happening. But we've also... Oh, no, shortages are slowly starting to disappear. That's a good thing. But we're still 13,000 out. So I need to do a bit more residential... expansion. I'll do some more in here, and I'm likely, and this will be done off screen, I'm likely to push up in here because there's the metro lines that form up in here. So if I was to, so I've got a metro line here which will bend about. Okay, so I can get them in here. We've got that one coming across. And we've got the rail stations too, if I wish to drop another rail station, which I don't. So yeah, we've got the metro lines I can bring across, so that's perfectly fine. But otherwise, we are good to go. And just watch out your normal... see, there's everyone moving in, so... just to help them out, and I'm hoping this doesn't bust it. But It might do... Yeah, it's... To be honest, I don't think I need it that big. Yep, that works perfectly fine. And then just light it up. And if I've really got my brains on me, what I would also do very quickly, so here's a bit of traffic management 101 for the day. And that just stops the backing up. And if I was really good, I would actually also... take that out as well. Oh, which then, of course, because I've done that... This allows that to happen. Anyway, this concludes, finally, 5.1, the develop... Oh, and the death wave we've managed to get rid of. But as you can see, the jobs is popping out, so we definitely need to get our residential in. And to be honest, I should probably start developing on this side. It's not the city centre, and I'll need the ferries, but we need to get that going as well. Because that just takes pressure off this side. So I'm Palpatine001, aka the Senate. This has been 5.1, developing Howick and Taranaki with the oil industry and some industry to go with it. We will be back after I do the urban expansion off screen just to get that work account up a bit. We will be back with 5.2 wherever I decide to do the ore, or more like ore, because that is a bit on the low side at the moment. So if I was to go and look for the ore, that is on the port side at the moment, which is good because it's right next to the infrastructure as it is. That said, we've also got a pocket of ore in here as well. In here that I can also do it, which keeps it close to the oil industry. So we can do a small scale there. We can push the ore expansion up in these directions as well. And then, of course, you've got the big pockets up here. So we'll be probably looking at the ore next, because I believe that's coming into shortage. So 5.2, which means 5.3 and 4 will be the farming and forestry. And farming also includes fishing. So it just all depends on 5.2, 3, and 4 where we are. So no, it won't be that. Maybe more of that because also the chemical plant goes in. So that will definitely be 5.3. Yeah, definitely 5.3. That's definitely 5.4. Yeah, definitely 5.2. So yeah, 5.2 will work on stone, coal, and ore for your metals and concrete. Then we'll do farming, including cotton, fishing, and then 5.4 is the forestry. I'm Palpatine001, aka the Senate, and this has been City Skylines 2 with Waikato. Planning, building, and experiencing.